In a quiet town surrounded by rolling hills and sparkling streams, there lived a young man named Mason. Mason was known among the townspeople as a dreamer. He had a gentle heart, a curious mind, and a habit of staring at the clouds for hours, imagining all the possibilities the world could offer. Yet, despite his imagination, he often felt stuck. Life had not been kind to Mason. His family struggled to make ends meet, and he had faced disappointment after disappointment. Jobs he had hoped for fell through, friendships soured, and opportunities seemed to slip through his fingers like water. Slowly, a shadow of doubt began to grow within him, whispering that maybe he wasn't meant for success or happiness. One day, as Mason walked through the town square, he overheard some villagers talking. "That boy will never amount to much," said one man. "He's always daydreaming, never working hard." Mason felt the words like a stone in his chest. He wanted to argue, to prove them wrong, but instead, the words stayed lodged in his mind. For days, he felt a heaviness he could not shake, a cloud of negativity that seemed to follow him wherever he went. That evening, Mason wandered to the edge of the forest, hoping the quiet would soothe him. As he walked along the path, he noticed an old gardener tending to a small, vibrant garden. Flowers of every color bloomed, their petals glistening in the fading sunlight. The air smelled sweet, filled with the scent of earth and blossoms. The old man noticed Mason and beckoned him over. "You look troubled, young man," said the gardener, his eyes kind and gentle. I I don't know how to be happy," Mason admitted. "Everything seems to go wrong for me. No matter what I do, life keeps letting me down." The gardener nodded knowingly and handed Mason a small, empty pot. "I will teach you something important today. This pot will hold the most powerful thing in the world, but you must be patient and you must tend to it carefully." Mason looked skeptical. "What do you mean?" "Inside this pot," said the gardener, "you must plant a seed. This seed is special. It grows only with your thoughts. Positive thoughts, kind thoughts, hopeful thoughts. If you feed it negativity, doubt, or fear, it'll wither and die. But if you nurture it with optimism, gratitude, and faith, it'll grow into something beautiful." Mason frowned. "A seed that grows with thoughts? That's impossible." The gardener smiled. "Nothing is impossible, young man. Come back in a week and see what has happened." Reluctantly, Mason carried the pot home. He placed it on his windowsill and stared at it, unsure what to do. That night, as he lay in bed, he thought about the seed. Slowly, he realized that the gardener's words made sense. Maybe the seed was a metaphor, but maybe it could also change him. The next morning, Mason tried something new. Every time a negative thought entered his mind, like "I'll never succeed" or "I'm not good enough," he consciously replaced it with a positive one. "I can learn and grow. I have the strength to keep trying. I will find a way forward." He smiled at himself in the mirror and whispered words of encouragement, feeling slightly foolish but determined. At first, it was difficult. The old habits of self-doubt crept in like shadows, whispering that his efforts were useless. But Mason persisted. Day by day, he nurtured the seed with positive thoughts. He started noticing small changes in himself. He walked taller, smiled more, and spoke with kindness to others. He began seeing opportunities where he had only seen obstacles. One morning, Mason noticed a tiny green sprout emerging from the soil in the pot. He could hardly believe it. His heart swelled with hope. "It's growing," he whispered to himself. Over the following weeks, Mason's life began to shift. A neighbor named Olivia needed help repairing a fence. Mason offered to assist, despite having no experience. He approached the task with curiosity and optimism, thinking, "I can figure this out. I'll learn as I go." To his surprise, he successfully repaired the fence, and Olivia praised his work. For the first time in a long while, Mason felt capable and valued. Word of Mason's cheerful demeanor and willingness to help began spreading throughout the town. People noticed his positive energy, and doors that had once been closed slowly started to open. Mason found a part-time job assisting a local craftsman named Lucas, who appreciated Mason's enthusiasm and determination. His optimism was infectious. He lifted other spirits even when the work was difficult. As months passed, the small sprout grew into a healthy plant with vibrant leaves. Mason realized that the gardener had been right. The seed thrived because he had nurtured it with positive thoughts, and in turn, it nurtured him. One day, the old gardener returned. He looked at Mason and smiled. "I see the seed has grown, but do you understand why it grew?" "Yes," Mason replied. "It wasn't just the seed, it was me. I had to believe in the good, to see the possibilities, and to act with hope. My thoughts, they shaped my world." The gardener nodded. "Exactly. Your mind is like a garden. Every thought is a seed. If you plant bitterness, anger, or despair, your life will be filled with weeds. But if you plant hope, gratitude, and positivity, your life will blossom. This is the power of positive thinking. It doesn't mean life will be perfect, but it means you choose what to nurture in yourself, and that changes everything." Mason continued to nurture the seed and his positive mindset. He faced challenges, of course, projects that failed, friendships that tested his patience, and days when negativity seemed stronger than his optimism. But he remembered the seed. He reminded himself to replace doubt with hope, resentment with gratitude, and fear with faith. Each time he did, his resilience grew stronger. As time passed, Mason's life transformed in ways he had never imagined. He met Sophia, a kind-hearted teacher who shared his love for learning and growth. Together they created a small community garden where children could plant seeds and learn the lessons of patience, care, and positivity. Mason realized that the gardener's lesson was not only for him, it could inspire others too. Years later, Mason became a mentor in his town, teaching children and young adults about the power of their thoughts. He would often say, "Happiness and success are not things you wait for. They are things you grow inside yourself. Plant seeds of hope, nurture them daily, and watch your life bloom." In this story, we learn that life is shaped not by what happens to you, but how you think, feel, and act. Positive thinking doesn't erase challenges. It gives you the strength to overcome them. Your mind is a garden. Plant seeds of hope, nurture them daily, and watch your life bloom. If this story inspired you, subscribe to Wisdom Life to uncover more life-changing lessons. And don't forget to like, comment, and share.